You open your eyes to the roar of the Colosseum. 50,000 throats, heat and sweat and expectation crushing the air. You are on the sand. The arena is a sunlit stage and a stone trap. Gates creak open behind you. Something heavy paws the earth. A lion paces in the shadow. You taste iron. A trumpet sings. The emperor raises his hand. Silence drops like a blade. Your heart answers. This is entertainment 2,000 years ago. And you are on the menu. Level 1. You do not know how you came here. You only know what is immediate. Sand under your fingernails. Sun burning your neck. A short sword clinks at your side. It belongs to you, or to a dead man with your shape. You stand. Movement in the hypogeum catches your eye. Trapdoors, cages, pulleys. A tunnel runs like a vein under the arena. Escape or death runs beneath the spectacle. You check the crowd. Faces blur into one appetite. You can hear a rumor of names. Victor, slave, traitor. The emperor watches like a weather god. One gesture decides blood. You have minutes to decide who you will be. Will you survive for pride, for a coin, for something that will outlast the roar? Level 2. First rule, do not panic. Panic becomes predictable. Predictable becomes prey. Breathe slow. Count the seconds like a metronome. Assess. Your sword is light. Its edge is used. Your tunic is torn. Your foot is scraped from a fall. You smell bronze and burnt oil. To your left, a net, heavy and woven. To your right, a javelin rack, polished from hands. Behind the lion smells fear and history. Look for advantages. Sunlight blinds the lion's right eye. He favors the left. The crowd's roar is louder to your right. The emperor shifts. Where the elite watch, the slaughter is sweeter. Where the common stand, mercy is cheaper. You choose angles. You plan small moves. A step, a parry, a gamble. You feel the sand give. Every step costs you blood and time. Decide your aim. Survive to the bell. Survive to the gate. Or create a moment the world will chant for years. Level 3. The lion lunges. Not now, it seems to say. It stalks the scent of your confusion. You throw the net. It snaps through the air, an ugly arc of desperation. It catches nothing but sand. The crowd laughs. Laughter is another weapon you must learn. You feint left and drop, curling into a roll. The blade bites the air where your ribs were. You are learning the language of this place. Distance, timing, ritual. You use ritual to confuse the ritualists. You think like a commoner in a palace of violence. You bait the lion toward shadow. You strike the javelin with your heel and send it spinning. It skitters and embeds into the lip of a trapdoor. A hidden keeper yells in Latin you do not understand. You do understand the pause it buys. 1 breath, 2 breaths. The crowd's volume wavers. Some betters curse. Some blood-hungry redoubles. Between beats, you survive. Level 4. You hear chains under the sand. Cartwheels. The scent of wet metal. You see the keeper's silhouette. Aged, steady. A man who has watched empires come and go. You call to him, though he cannot hear words through the din. You move toward him and the hypogeum. The emperor studies you like a sculptor choosing his marble. He gestures, not death, a spectacle within spectacle. You are led toward the trapdoor he commands. You bargain with your eyes. A nod, a flicker of shame, rare in emperors, but present when stories will sell the next festival. You are lowered. Darkness. The smell of ox blood and damp ropes. Tunnel walls close in enough to hear your breath. You count the breaths to keep from thinking of home. A voice in the dark whispers Latin and mockery. You cannot answer with words. You answer with motion. You prime a small spring trap, loosen a screw, hide a spearhead under the hem of a cloak. The hypogeum will be the chessboard. The keepers will be the pawns you must move. Level 5. They do not expect cunning. They expect spectacle. You use that arrogance as armor. A wheel squeals above. Sand falls like snow. You climb like a mole, using a service ladder that hasn't known a living thing other than mice. You emerge into a side corridor. A corridor leads to an archway, and the archway opens to the street outside the arena. Freedom tastes like dust and possibility. But the crowd still roars. The emperor still directs. You are not outside yet. You are in an instrument of control. You improvise a plan of chaos. You loosen a pulley. You cut a rope. You open a gate reserved for animals, not men. The lion explodes into the corridor, regal and furious. It does not know you are trying to use it. The keepers shout. The emperor laughs, delighted by complication. If the beast goes for you, you die with the crowd's thirst sated. If the beast turns the tide, the emperor cannot predict what will be remembered. You whisper to the animal with adrenaline you do not own. You steer its anger toward a statue, and from there to the imperial box. Chaos becomes chance. Level 6 stone falls. The crowd gasps as a piece of marble topples. The emperor's expression flickers. Surprise, then fury. He wants order, not improvisation. Order is the Roman way of bending the world to a ledger. You are a line item he did not expect. You sprint. You move through dust and bodies. You draw attention like fire draws moths. Some cheer. Some scream. Someone throws a cloak like a flag. A child reaches for you. Your pace slows a fraction. You remember eyes from your life. Someone who loved without spectacle. That memory costs you time. A gladiator, clean and polished, blocks your path, trained to be beautiful in death. You do not have time for a duel of honor. You feint, plant, and elbow through. Brutal, unglamorous, effective. You are not a storybook hero. You are improvisation and stubborn breath. You reach the outer gate. It is locked. The keys hang where they always hang, on the belt of the steward watching the emperor like a hawk. He is laughing now. He will not drop the keys willingly. Level 7. Decision compresses into 1 instant. You can fight the steward, risk arrest and a show of execution. You can grab keys from a sleeping boy in the stairwell. You can surrender and become a story for the next generation to spit about. You choose movement. You slide along the wall. Hands like magnets steal breath and keyring. The boy does not wake. You are out. Sunlight slams your face. You run. Noise melts into a distant thunder. Still the crowd, still the beasts, still the spectacle of kings. You are in a street that smells of olives and potters, and the economy of a city that eats spectacle like bread. You do not turn back. You run toward the river, toward anonymity. But Rome has its eyes everywhere. A messenger in a toga steps from a shadow and hands you a folded tablet. You glance down. The emperor has written 1 line only. Survive and become useful. Sell your skill. Fight for a cohort. Buy your life with a promise. You could take the offer. You could slip across the sea. You could vanish. You close your eyes and feel the roar still clinging to your teeth. You feel the pull of safety and the pull of legend. You breathe. You remember the law of this day. The crowd will forget those who do not give them a story. You have choices now shaped by the arena. You can live quietly, or you can return to the sand and make the emperor watch. You are breathing. You are deciding. Tonight the Colosseum will tell 1,000 lies and a few truths. A man with an edge can turn either into escape. You were given arena, animal, audience. You walked through shadow and stone. You still have the taste of empire on your tongue. Follow to wake up somewhere new tomorrow.